Welcome back to the deep dive. Have you ever heard stories about people who seem to cheat death again and again?
Yeah, like someone who genuinely seems to have, well, 9 lives.
Exactly. Today we're embarking on a quite an incredible journey. It's a deep dive into the extraordinary life of Albert Roland Stewart III.
That's right. Our deep dive is based on his memoir, The Man with 9 Lives, The Journey from Poor Army Brat to Wealthy Real Estate Mogul.
Sounds fascinating.
Oh, it is. It's a really interesting look at how, a challenging upbringing, plus this incredible resilience and sharp business sense,
Hmm.
how all that shapes a truly remarkable career in real estate and a life now really dedicated to a profound purpose.
So our mission for you, our listener, is to unpack the key moments, the surprising facts, and the deep lessons from his journey.
Get ready, because it's quite a story.
It sounds like it. A story of, well, unwavering determination, unexpected turns, and the kind of grit that truly earned someone that title, The Man with 9 Lives.
Absolutely.
So let's start right at the beginning. The foundation, the values instilled in him, going back to his paternal grandparents, Albert Roland Stewart Sr. and Laura Mae Thompson.
His grandfather, Albert Sr., he served way back in the 1898 Spanish-American War.
Wow.
Yeah, and he even had a sword scar across his back from hand-to-hand combat. Quite the image.
Definitely. And after the war,
He became a government engineer, worked on the Trinity River Project.
okay, but what's this about his courtship?
Ah, right. Well, this part is truly fascinating. Shows his audacious spirit, I guess. He was apparently instantly captivated by 18-year-old Laura Mae Thompson.
Just 18.
Yeah. And at their very first meeting, he boldly presented her with a dozen red apples that he'd hidden in his white silk shirt. Made quite a scene, apparently.
It's bad.
And they got married just a few months later, despite the age gap.
And his grandmother, Stewart, Laura Mae, she wasn't just sitting back either, was she?
Not at all. She was quite the force herself. Opened a dry goods store in 1926
Wow, back then.
and later became a recognized expert in ceramics. Had over 1,600 molds, apparently.
1600, that's amazing.
Yeah, even taught ceramics at Sky Ranch, a Christian camp.
Yeah.
So their home sounds like it was just this bedrock of strong traditional values,
American and German values, right?
Exactly. Faith, family, patriotism, hard work. Just a deep sense of peace and family bond described in the book.
Like his papa's long prayers.
Right. Always ending with, nothing more beautiful than each of you. What an incredible foundation.
How do you see those values, especially that family sense, influencing Albert's parents then?
Oh, it's crucial. That strong foundation, it definitely cascaded down. You see it in his father, Albert Roland Stewart Jr.
Okay.
He really embodied those greatest generation values through his military service. Graduated from Texas A&M, enlisted in the Army in 41.
Just before Pearl Harbor?
Right, trained in field artillery and communications. Then Pearl Harbor happened, changed everything. He served extensively in World War II.
Earned 2 Bronze Stars, among other medals.
Yes, and his commitment didn't stop there. He served through the Korean conflict, too.
3 more Bronze Stars in Korea.
Incredible. But, like so many veterans of that era, he was pretty quiet about the combat stuff.
Right. Albert III only found out the full extent after his father passed.
Exactly. Including dealing with what they called shell shock back then.
If you now understand as PTSD.
Precisely. That silent struggle with the invisible wounds of war. And it was his father's decision to make the Army a career.
That led him to Germany.
That led him to post-war Germany, yeah. And that's where he met Albert's mother.
Renee Tauber Stewart. And our story is something else entirely.
It really is. A story of incredible resilience. Grew up with privilege in Sudetenland before the war. Her father spoke 4 languages. They traveled.
Sounds idyllic.
It was until WWII, the German invasion, and then after the war, the backlash. The Czechs associated all Germans with Nazism.
And they were expelled.
An X painted on their door. 30 minutes to leave, just the clothes on their backs.
30 minutes. Just imagine that.
It's hard to fathom. And what strikes you is her journey after that, through concentration camps, as a refugee. How does that kind of trauma shape someone?
It must build incredible strength or break you.
It speaks volumes about the human spirit, doesn't it? She endured the camps, separated from her father, foraging for worms to eat,
Worms.
while caring for her younger sister, just raw survival. Eventually, the family reunited in Germany as refugees.
Even her older sister Rose, who escaped.
Yes. And his resourceful Oma, his grandmother, gathering discarded shutters for fuel in the army barracks, just doing whatever it took.
And amidst all that, she found joy.
Yeah, receiving care packages from the U.S., performing in high heels and a stylish hat she found.
Ew.
It was during that time she met Albert's father.
Quite an age difference, 20 years.
Yeah, but they married in 1956. A new chapter really built on just sheer will to survive and thrive.
That resilience is quite a foundation. Which brings us to Albert III's own Army brat experience.
Right. Constant movement defined his early life.
Yeah.
Born in Augsburg, Germany.
Attended, what was it, 23 schools, plus or minus one or two?
Something like that. Across the U.S. and Europe. As an only child, what was the impact of all that change?
He mentions it created a real longing for stability.
Makes sense. He talks about desperately trying to call his dad in Korea from a phone booth, just missing family, wanting a fixed home, siblings.
But that nomadic life also built something else.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Toughness, adaptability. He calls being a military brat a badge of honor, even related to the movie The Rookie, because of the constant moves.
And patriotism was ingrained early on.
Absolutely. Seeing his dad in uniform, hearing the Army goes rolling along, he was even in the Civil Air Patrol.
But despite the strong values, money was tight.
Extremely tight. An enlisted man's family back then. His mother often had to pawn a camera for like $25 or $50 advances just to buy necessities before payday.
Wow, that kind of scarcity must ingrain some lessons early, huh?
For sure. Resourcefulness, the value of a dollar. And that respect for the military, it clearly stuck with him.
He served in the Coast Guard Auxiliary later.
Yeah, as an adult, a voluntary civilian role, but a continuation of that service ethos.
So, after his father retired in 67, they finally settled down.
Eventually, yeah. Silver Springs, Maryland, near D.C. His dad even used veteran benefits to get an art degree at Corcoran College.
But still poor. No car, HUD housing.
Right. It highlights their poverty, but also, like you said, their ability to find joy. Potato-scamped wrapping paper. His mom's German Kuchen. Quite a contrast.
It really shows that inner strength, doesn't it?
It does. And this was during a turbulent time, too. Hippies, Woodstock, race riots in D.C. Though Albert says he was pretty innocent then, taught to love everyone.
And his father's work at Valley Forge. That seems significant.
Hugely significant, developing that rehabilitation center for veterans dealing with PTSD or shell shock.
Helping them transition.
Exactly. And young Albert actually worked alongside those wounded veterans there, making pottery, painting with them.
That must have really deepened his patriotism, laid the groundwork for his future work with vets.
I think so. Then at 15, in 1971, he makes his big decision.
Moves back to Texas.
Yeah, seeking that family and stability he craved. Found peace at his grandmother Stewart's home. And years later, that heartwarming reunion with his two half-sisters, Diane and Sandra.
Adding another layer to that family connection.
Right, and that work ethic, it kicked in immediately.
The grocery store job.
Yeah, at 15, he fibbed about his age to get a job as a stocker at Buddy's Supermarket for $1.60 an hour.
Wow. That really cemented his principle, didn't it? Do not sit back waiting for your ship to come in.
Exactly. Start where you are and apply yourself. That idea.
That principle is powerful. You don't wait for opportunity. Sometimes you got to make it. How did he apply that to his first big venture? He was so young.
He really did apply it. At just 18, gets a $5,000 loan from Grand Prairie National Bank.
Without a co-signer. How?
Just pure can-do attitude and determination, apparently. Convinced the loan officer.
Incredible. And that funded his first real estate deal.
Yep. A Hedvia repo house.
Yeah.
You know, government-owned foreclosures. Often distressed, but opportunities if you're willing to work.
But he knew nothing about construction, right? How did he learn?
Pure initiative. Remember, no internet back then. Spent countless hours in the Mountain View College library researching construction.
Self-taught.
Mostly. Also learned from a local lumber owner, Bill Farrell. And this is a story. He even hired an elderly wino who was a jack of all trades.
Seriously?
Yeah, but he learned a key lesson. Only pay him on Friday so he'd show up the rest of the week.
Huh. That's practical learning.
It was. And that hands-on renovation work, it turned a quick $5,000 profit and, importantly, built trust with his banker.
It really sounds like he was way ahead of the curve. Like flipping houses before flipping was even a thing.
Pretty much. He became a pioneer, literally pounding the streets, using 3x5 index cards to advertise the HUD and VA repo homes he was buying, fixing, and selling.
Just grinding it out.
Totally. And he didn't stop there. He pursued formal education, too. Real estate courses at Mountain View College.
And eventually taught there.
Became a professor instructor for real estate at Dallas Community College. He had mentors, Dr. Kelly Miller, Dr. John Bain, who saw his drive.
He also had that early partnership SMD Investments.
Right, Stewart, Miller, and Dent. Rented space in the Oak Cliff Bank Tower. But that's where he learned a tough lesson about trust.
Ah, the partner who took the phone number.
Yeah, a guy named Bob left the partnership, took the business phone number out of, well, greed, Albert says.
Ouch. That must have reinforced his dad's advice. If it's not written, it's not said.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cemented the need for due diligence, clear written agreements. Always.
So what came after that?
Moved into construction with Edgar Allan, formed Allen and Stewart Builders, but then a setback.
The ruptured disc?
Yeah, from lifting a fireplace. Forced him out of the physical grunt work.
Yeah.
He had to shift to overseeing admin, building spec homes on infill lots.
But even with that, he achieved incredible success early on.
Astonishingly early. That 1978 Grand Prairie Gazette article called him a teenage millionaire by age 21.
Just incredible. And he got involved civically very early, too. Rotary Club at 19.
Yep, became president at 24, joined the Board of Realtors Chamber of Commerce.
Why was associating with quality people and adopting that Rotary four-way test so important to him?
Well, I think for him it was about building character and integrity alongside wealth. You know, is it the truth? Fair.
Yeah.
Build goodwill. Beneficial.
Became his ethical compass.
Exactly. Making sure his business practices matched his values.
Given all that early resilience, it really sets the stage for the later trials, doesn't it? And maybe nothing highlights that more than the literal life and death stuff.
The things that earned him the Man with 9 Lives nickname.
Starting with helicopters, he was fascinated as a kid.
Watching the whirlybirds on military bases, yeah. But his first purchase, risky.
The Killer Hiller.
That Vietnam-era Hiller UH-12B, notoriously flawed, underpowered, wooden blades, prone to failure, unstable rotor head.
So why buy it?
Affordability, probably. Maybe a bit of youthful daring. But his training was intense.
With Vietnam vets.
Yeah, pushing him hard, learning nap of the earth, flying super low to the ground, and crash survival techniques like auto rotations into treetops.
Which he questioned at the time.
He did. Like, what jungles am I flying over in Texas?
Yeah.
But that training, wow.
It saved his life on that maiden flight over Joe Pool Dam.
Absolutely dramatically. Engine overheated, sheared pin, but the training just kicked in.
Executed that confined landing approach into trees.
Used the tail as a shock absorber, landed safely even as the chopper burst into flames moments later.
That definitely cements the cat with 9 lives reputation right there.
No kidding. And his financial journey had its own trials by fire, too.
The 1986 Tax Reform Act.
Yeah, basically killed the real estate boom. Led to a forced bankruptcy. He lost almost everything.
Except his house and car.
Right. But what's amazing is what his wife Cheryl observed. She said he seemed peaceful.
Peaceful while losing everything. What does that tell you?
It suggests this deep inner core, maybe, resilience beyond just finances, and he didn't stay down.
Rose like a phoenix, the book says.
Yeah. During the bankruptcy, 91 to 95, he just devoured books on Wall Street finance, learned to structure deals without traditional banks.
Came out with scars turned into stars.
Great phrase.
Yeah.
And that led to Paramount Investments Corporation.
Spotting opportunity in government-owned assets again?
Exactly. Syndicating limited partnerships, pooling money from high net worth folks to buy properties below replacement cost. Like Chandler's Landing Marina, North Texas's largest.
His timing before the 2008 crash was incredible, too.
Astute is the word.
Yeah.
2006, 2 years before the crash, he liquidates 90% of Paramount's portfolio.
Why?
Said prices were out of control. That foresight is just invaluable. What did that allow him to do after the recession hit?
He was positioned perfectly, flush with cash.
Right. So post-recession, he goes for this audacious plan, bidding on massive portfolios of HUD via foreclosures.
Competing against giants like Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, seeing himself as David against Goliath. But that can-do attitude, a big leap of faith, a $1 million non-refundable deposit, plus help securing Fannie Mae loans from a high school friend at Graystar. He pulled it off.
But success attracts challenges. That story about the partner, Frank.
Oh, that's a dark one. Greed leading to embezzlement, unfaithfulness, and even hiring a hitman to kill his wife, Nancy.
She survived, but lost an eye. Horrifying.
Truly horrifying. An extreme example, but it reinforced his vigilance about ego and greed.
And he had another close call with UDF, United Development Funding.
Yeah, another escape. He decided to sever legal connections because he sensed greed among the executive.
And they were later exposed as a Ponzi scheme.
By Kyle Bass, yeah. Executives convicted, imprisoned,
Yeah.
and the ultimate irony.
He bought their office building.
And became their landlord. You can't make this stuff up.
It really is like 9 lives. From financial crises to, well, even more near-death encounters. That Las Vegas accident in '99.
Maybe the most tragic.
Yeah.
A drunk driver hits their cab. His two best friends, Dr. Mike Hammond and Bob Glenn,
Yeah.
killed instantly.
And he was critically injured, thrown 300 feet.
Multiple lacerations, collapsed lung, crushed ribs, internal bleeding, battered face. It's a miracle he survived. What was the impact of that?
Profound. It shattered his old priorities. He stepped down as Paramount's president, reevaluated everything.
Started focusing on charity.
Yeah, saw it as preparation, oddly enough, for helping veterans, gave him deeper empathy for PTSD, survivor's guilt.
And that's when Kurt Grimm came into the picture.
Right. The lawyer with Ivy League PhDs became his co-pilot, his best friend, balanced his intensity.
Then, just 7 years later, 2006, another chopper incident.
The Grand Canyon close call, flying his Bell Long Ranger turbine helicopter with friends, extreme weather hits.
Forced them into the canyon. Low fuel, zero visibility.
Terrifying. But again, that nap of the earth training kicked in. He navigated the terrain.
It's nail-biting reading about it. Fuel light comes on 15 minutes left. Friends panicking.
But he stayed cool, made the decisions, found a spot to land on the Navajo reservation.
Ripping through an Indian bead stand on landing.
Huh. And then the encounter with the father and son with Coke bottle-thick lenses who drove them out.
And the irony that the friends who took a commercial flight also hit terrifying weather. The lesson he took. Keeping cool in times of crises.
A lesson he needed again in 2012. A heart attack.
On Grapevine Lake. Didn't want to admit something was wrong at first.
But his friend Richard rushed him to the hospital, trailer still attached to the truck.
Yeah, frantic race. Saved his life, likely. He recalls his heart actually flatlining.
And they implanted a pacemaker defibrillator for SVT.
Right, supraventricular tachycardia. He said it was the first time he felt completely out of control. What did that loss of control mean for someone so self-reliant?
It sounds like a major turning point.
Right.
Led to an unexpected year-long depression, hopelessness.
Despite his usually optimistic nature, he saw it as a pruning process, though. Necessary stripping away.
Fostering empathy, compassion, especially for vets. Preparation for ministry, he felt.
And the recovery trigger. A puppy.
A tiny 2-pound Habanese named Chimera. Seeing it play fearlessly with an 80-pound lab just snapped him out of it. Inspired him to reboot, renamed his boat Simplicity.
Wow, a puppy saves the day.
But really seems like his 9 lives just kept piling up. Beyond those, there was another fiery helicopter crash in 2011.
Seriously, another one?
Yep. Then melanoma cancer in 2019. COVID in 2020, thyroid surgery also in 2020, and another helicopter crash on his birthday in 2020.
Okay, that's just uncanny. How many times can one person face mortality like that? What does it say about him?
Unshakable fortitude, maybe. And this deep belief he was being kept around for a reason.
A greater purpose.
Yeah.
Which led to his spiritual awakening.
Exactly. He wasn't religious growing up, but had this personal encounter with God at a Bible study retreat in Lake Tahoe. Pastor Jeff Little facilitated.
A transformative moment.
Reading letters from loved ones and experience at Sand Harbor led to being born again, rebaptized in the freezing lake.
And he brings that faith into his business now.
Very much so. Honors God at his properties, publishes custom resort Bibles for residents, includes his personal hierarchy, God, humanity, country, family.
And he shares stories of impact.
Yeah, a widow finding solace, a Hindu woman getting a job after prayer, a Muslim woman accepting Jesus.
Which connects directly to his belief about surviving everything.
That it's a divine call to help veterans, a shift from just writing checks.
To giving his time, energy, and love, getting his hands dirty.
Getting in the mud, he calls it. Powerful image. Tell us more about that. Who did he partner with?
First, J.D. Collette, a Vietnam Marine vet, Dallas cop, FBI agent, founded Cardboard Heroes for homeless vets.
And together.
They started Milestone Church's reboot class for veteran families, a safe space for healing, provided Bibles to incarcerated vets, took wounded vets on helicopter trips, campouts.
That's really hands-on.
Absolutely. Then there's Dana, a double amputee Army vet, skydiver. He helped convince her to move to Texas.
And they started a foundation.
Co-founded the Halo for Freedom Foundation. Organizes amazing events for vets. Hog hunting from helicopters, rappelling, NASA races, raising hundreds of thousands.
Hog hunting from helicopters. Wow.
Yeah. But maybe the most powerful getting in the mud story is with Sergeant Stephen Osteen.
The suicidal veteran.
Yes. Albert and his wife, Cheryl, literally opened their home to him and his emotional support dog, Hazel.
Just to come in.
Took him in. Immediately started calling him Sergeant Osteen to restore that identity. Helped him budget, plan reconciliation with his wife, gave him an apartment.
That direct personal intervention. It's incredible.
And it worked. Osteen reconciled with his family, got a job, a real victory showing the power of that support structure. Albert adopted that creed, no veteran left behind.
Inspired by that story of the veterans getting off the plane in Charlotte for their buddy.
Exactly. 60 vets deboarding because one guy's oxygen concentrator battery died. That's the spirit.
Now, the sources also mention his family's political involvement.
Right. And, just to be clear for our listeners, we're reporting what's in the source material here, not endorsing any political viewpoint.
Okay.
The memoir notes his family strongly supported President Trump in 2016. Financial contributions, active participation, personal interactions.
Even those Jesus is my savior, Trump is my president t-shirts.
Yeah, listing Trump's accomplishments according to the book. So that's part of his story as presented.
Got it. So looking at his life today, it reflects that whole journey.
It really does. He talks about his blessings. Homes in Texas, Florida, Grand Cayman, Lake Tahoe. His puppy angels. Family church.
Still runs the real estate business.
Over 1,100 apartment units, yeah. But Jennifer, J.D. Colette's daughter, is COO now.
Which frees him up.
Allows him to focus more on health, veterans, God service, with his daughter, Liberty, involved too.
Ah, Liberty. Clearly his pride and joy, as the book says.
Definitely. Highlights her achievements, academic, athletic, musical, singing, songwriting, instruments.
And now she's in the family business.
Pivoted to real estate. Director marketing for Paramount and the resort properties.
And that lovely detail about her wedding.
The Cinderella wedding to Bradley Wimpy, and Bradley took the Stewart family name.
Wow, ensuring the legacy continues. That's significant.
Really solidifies their pride and happiness, as he puts it.
So his life and business, they're guided by these core principles he developed, living by that rotary four-way test.
Truth, fairness, goodwill, benefit, still his creed.
And the importance of having a map, a written plan. Why is that so crucial for him, do you think?
Well, after navigating so many storms, financial and literal, I think planning became essential. He compares it to a ship needing a port. Without a map, you're just adrift. It speaks to intentionality.
And he has a whole formula for success.
He does. It's pretty comprehensive, actually.
What are some key elements that really jump out?
Well, there's spiritual faith, positivity, of course, but also meticulous documentation, remember, if it's not written. Efficiency, logic, written goals, clear communication.
Sounds very...
It is. Plus, continuous education, accountability, health, stress management, and crucially, philanthropy. That getting in the mud is really holistic.
And his motto about ego and greed.
We all have a bit of ego and greed. Keep it at its minimum as this life is not a dress rehearsal. Live each day to the fullest.
Given the betrayals, the UDF collapse, managing ego and greed must be central for him.
Absolutely. He saw firsthand how destructive they can be, not just to businesses, but to lives. So it's a conscious, ongoing effort for him, recognizing purpose beyond just money.
And finally, his creed about time.
Most misfortunes are the result of misused time, and the secret of success is being ready when opportunity arrives.
And what you do with them opportunities will decide your destiny.
It's a powerful reminder, isn't it? Time is the one thing we can't get back.
What an incredible journey. Resilience, sharp turns, unwavering purpose. Albert Roland Stewart III really does seem to embody the man with 9 lives.
His story definitely makes you think, doesn't it? About inner strength, strategy, relationships, finding that deeper purpose.
So maybe a final thought for you, our listener, drawing from all this. Surely from this period, never give in, never give in, never, 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 in nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in, except to convictions of honor and good sense.
Powerful words.
So what obstacles are you facing right now? And what's your response going to be? Remember, like he says, this life is not a dress rehearsal.
What will you do with your time today?
To shape your destiny, make a difference, something to think about.